Hello, world. So, it's been a while. 2 weeks, I believe. I would have an excuse, but I really don't. Yeah, last week I was on vacation, didn't get the time, and the week before that, I was probably just really lazy and didn't take the time to do this. But I'm home again and ready to do another episode of Spread the Love Sundays. So this week, I want to give a shout out to not really a person in particular, but the people who do VFX, like visual effects and special effects, all that awesome stuff for movies, TV shows, and anything else. Those people do so much for the movies and the shows that you watch that you probably don't even know about, unless you're somebody who's interested in that kind of field and so you love all that kind of stuff. But for those of you who just watch your movies and watch your shows and just are like amazed by everything that happens, it's because of the people who do the special effects and the visual effects. That if you're like watching like a superhero movie or like an action movie where there's like explosions and all that good stuff, those are the people that like make it so that it's believable, that there's an explosion happening or something like that happening. This light, okay, it's weird. That's a little better. But yeah, so visual effects people and special effects people, they are just beyond brilliant. They do so much in post production that you probably don't even realize, which is wonderful. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I don't want to know all this stuff because it takes away from the magic of what's happening, or oh, it ruins the effect and it's not as enjoyable. But for me, I find it much more enjoyable. Honestly, when I watch movies and shows that have like people with like superpowers where like they're flying or they're super strong, I don't know if that's like visual or special effects or whatever, but like people who are like flying or like they like shoot like lasers out their eyes, or they have like control fire or anything that's like super awesome like that, or like spells and like outer space or whatever, just all that kind of awesome stuff. I love seeing how that's all put together. I love it. It is amazing because like there's so much hard work is put into that stuff to make it seamless and believable. And so when I like to try to sometimes figure out, oh, I wonder how they did that. I wonder, how did that happen? Now that was probably a special effects. That's probably a visual effects thing. And I love trying to figure out how the stuff happens. And when I watch behind the scenes footage from movies or shows, and I see how like stuff is like done on like the green screen or on the computer in post production to make like things are layered together so that it creates one giant picture that's seamless. I love it. Like, because then like I go back and I watch it and I know that that's there, but it just like adds another element for me that I love it. And there's many people who do this kind of stuff, but one guy in particular that I know of is Mark Kolpak. He's I believe a VFX, visual effects supervisor, who is currently working on the final episodes for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the cast and like the people who like work on the set, like with the camera operators and directors and writers and all those guys have all finished. They've all wrapped. They've finished season 2 this weekend, but Mark is still working on the final episodes with making sure that everything is seamless and flows nicely and that all the effects are how they're supposed to be. And so big shout out to that guy because I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is like my like my top 2 of my favorite shows, maybe top 3 or 4. I don't know. It's in the top 5 at least. Okay. And so I just, big shout out to you, man. You are awesome, and your team, you and your team do amazing things. So thank you for everything that you do for the show, because it's awesome. And thank you to every other visual effects men and women out there, because you guys are fantastic, and you bring our movies and you bring our entertainment to life. You make it happen. So thank you to you guys. You guys are awesome.